Could I have a roll call, please?
Counselor Lehman,
Here.
Counselor Marcus,
Here.
Counselor Larson,
Here.
Counselor Keekley,
Here.
Mayor Swanson.
Okay, we have, let's see, our budget. That's what we're starting with, so.
Okay.
Diana?
Sorry. So we're starting with the animal control budget.
We got street department.
Oh, okay, we'll start with street department then. I think maybe animal control's on the last one. The 2018 budget is set at $223,746. That is about a $5,000 increase for the street department. If you look at the employer paid health, you can see that's a huge increase because our insurance went up 29%. And then there's a decrease of about $6,000 for our debt service because our loader is paid off this year. So the new loader, we financed it for 4 years, so that is paid off, so that's not in this budget. Any questions on the street department?
Looks good. Just, you have to on your phone.
There's that thing. Look. John don't have that.
So, John doesn't have one? All right, look at this one. Snow and ice control, that budget is at $30,510. Slightly lower than last year's budget. Just by, the wages are down a little bit just because I went back about 3 years and kind of did an average of how much time was spent on snow and ice, and that's why that went down.
Is that, oh, we don't know what it's gonna be.
What's that?
Well, it's showing we have $20,000 left till the end of the year.
Is that left or is that what we paid?
Are you looking under,
No,
17.
well, it's not.
16.
What do we do if
17.
if there's money left over? Don't we leave it in that and then use that for next year, or do we roll that into our pot?
Some departments roll it over into capital. Others, it just gets left into the
Because this is kind of a separate
general fund.
snow and ice. I thought maybe if we didn't spend all of that, we left it there so then it would go into next year's budget? No?
No,
No.
no.
What's the,
The budgets, they don't carry over.
what is the snow and ice? Is that like overtime or what?
Well,
Not
it's
the over, it's all
wages,
the wages for the normal plowing, overtime plowing.
cutting edges.
The guys, on their timesheet, they have, you know, a category for snow removal.
Oil and gas.
So, any
Salt and
questions?
sand repairs, yeah.
Is the gas and oil, seems like it runs lower every year.
And that's because diesel's been down now,
Down.
for, like 3 years ago, it was
Yeah, $4
very
a gallon.
expensive, yeah.
Right.
So, but you just
So it's
never
just
know
best
what
to
it's
keep it
gonna
up there, yeah.
happen.
And like this year, it started early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The next one is the Public Works buildings. And that's at $9,430. Basically, it's just, you know, the insurance, the utilities, and heat, the gas there. No major changes with that one. Parks and Rec budget is at 25,900. That is a decrease by about 13,000 from last year. We don't have a Parks Director, we just have wages budgeted for summer labor for the beach and winter for the skating rink. Any questions on that one? Alright, campground. The major expense there is the porta potties. We have 2 of them there and we rent them from about Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day weekend. So,
You don't know how much we made on a campground this year?
off the top of my head, I don't, but I can find that information out for you. It was definitely down from previous years. It was,
We find that people don't pay. It's an on your honor kind of system. And we find that there's many people out there that aren't paying.
so.
I just have the city guys check on it, don't I?
Yep, the city guys go and bring in the payment envelopes. But, you know, we have people sometimes stick $2 in there instead of the $7 that it's supposed to be. It's just. So, but I'll find that information out for you.
Okay, thank you.
The senior center, that is at 15,130. We have put in there money for capital equipment. We've been told that there is an issue with the stove. So that's in there for right now. Until we get a definite answer.
We don't know what's wrong with the stove?
No.
Okay. This might be done before the first of the year.
I don't think it
The
does sound
stove?
like it. I don't even
Oh,
know.
I don't
I mean,
know.
get it fixed or,
They
I
say
hope
it
it's
needs to be
replaced.
replaced. I haven't seen any quotes on anything yet though, so. They haven't really said much other than just to give you a heads up, we're
Yeah.
gonna need a new stove.
I just Googled
Ours is broken.
one to get a estimated price on what they
yeah,
run.
Is there
superior.
someone that can look at it to make sure we need it?
We went order without getting confirmation. It was just when we were doing the budget,
Sure.
just.
The next budget is the community center, and that's at 11,225. And that's about the same as last year. I mean, it's increasing a little bit because insurance increased a little and gas utilities.
Oh, there's two things in there. What are we on?
Community center?
Oh, community, you got two
There we
sheets
go.
in there. Okay, I'm going.
Okay.
I'm on the right page.
Any questions on the community center budget? And then the final one is Lake Leander. And this one, we have insurance on it, and then we have fees to the county we have to pay.
Dana, we didn't have animal control.
Oh, yeah.
No, but that one's so minimal. What do we pay to them? Like, we only pay them
Animal control is,
with contended critters. It would
Oh,
be like
yeah, it's only-
$120.
the
or
budget for animal
something.
control is 615. Sorry.
And we never even, this year, what did they pick up, like 3 animals or 4 animals?
about 4
And we get the
animals.
10 animals included in that one fee until we get charged.
Yeah, it's a very minimal price. for
I don't know
animal
what we had before.
Well, in 2016, it was costing us like
Because
$5,000.
we did Misabi Humane Society then, and this year we do contended critters.
Any questions on the budgets?
Looks good. Looks good.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
motion. Do we need a motion to approve?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2018 budget.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay.
Well, this is basically still a proposed budget till the end of December.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to have the final one until December. Department heads?
Yep, report from department heads, Public Works.
I thought I'd just touch on the power issues that we had the other week, because I know a lot of people are curious, and I thought maybe I'd just kind of explain it real quick. What happened was, well, Buhl's fed from two different ways, and both of our feeds went down, but one feed still had two phases that were working. And so the blinking that we had in the morning, we have a switch that Minnesota Power controls. Well, it's more automated. And it was switching between the two feeds. And because both were dead, that's why I was switching back and forth. And because it was a bad day because of the storm, Minnesota Power wasn't able to respond right away. And so they were able to get in there and get it to these manually shut down. But in the problem, well, they ended up having to patrol the lines. It took them about 5.5 hours to find where the problem was. They said, they didn't tell me an exact location, but it was way out in the sticks, out in the woods. So it took them a while to find it, but it ended up being a jumper that ended up coming loose. And so once they got it on, fuses blew at the substation because there was too much load right away they couldn't handle, and so they had some problems, but yeah, and then to kind of just go, well, I talked to Minnesota Power prior to this, and they talked about something that some other cities do that maybe we might want to look into doing, is they kind of take dispatch for cities. And so like in this situation that day, I had a lot of calls.
Yeah, I
And
was,
so-
yeah, and my phone was ringing off.
And and I don't have details on it, I don't know what, if it's gonna cost anything, I don't know that yet. But basically what it would be is they'd give us a number, a designated number for Buhl, and they would take, their dispatch would take it, and so I wouldn't be flooded with phone calls the entire time. And City Hall, I know City Hall was nonstop too, and so it'd be something, but I don't have details on that yet, like, 'cause I just talked to them a couple weeks about it, so. That's something I'll probably be.
You think that'll end all the,
No, but it
Save
probably would, it'd save, it hopefully saves them,
Yeah.
because that was a rough day plowing and
Sure.
getting calls and.
Trent, what is our procedure for power problems? Just so people would kind of, is it to call you or call City Hall and call you?
Well,
So
we have the
Minnesota
Minnesota Power number.
Power has a link on their website that you can go on to, and you can report a power outage in your area. And then they also have a feature where it says, be notified when the power is back on, and you put your phone number in, and
Didn't we have it on the phone, on our utility bill for a couple months?
the Minnesota Power.
Yeah.
I know, like, after hours, some people call City Hall, my number's on the answering machine, and so I get phone calls after hours from them, but sometimes people call the police department and then they get ahold of me, and then sometimes Minnesota Power gets ahold of me.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'd prefer it to go through Minnesota Power, because then I'm not getting flooded with phone calls all the time, because there's even times where I'm up working on the lines and I'm getting phone calls about it, so it's,
Well, yeah, that's another thing, people could call 911
Yeah.
too and let them know, and then they can,
yeah, and that's actually the very first call I got that morning, morning, was from the sheriff's department. Then I started getting a lot of phone calls.
I just texted you, I didn't phone call you.
Yeah, so once they get back to me on what they do with other cities, then I'll probably present it here, I don't know, cost, I don't know if it's free, maybe, I'm not sure.
yeah, and get some more information on that.
But That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fire and ambulance.
Good evening.
Yeah.
One thing I have right now is, well, a couple different things. It's, one of the items is on the agenda. The other thing is would like to move forward with hiring Ryan Jager on the paid on call. So, for the ambulance side of stuff.
I'll make a motion to go ahead with that.
Do we,
I'll make a motion to, do you need to hire him or get
When he
the
has to-
background?
Well, hire him pending, the background check and the physical and
Yeah.
everything
do we
else.
have an application or anything for him?
Nothing yet, but we will get it to you. He'll pass. He's already on an existing.
And we still need to have the, all
I
of
guess what
the
I'm asking is,
paperwork.
can we move forward with it pending that he, the approval and the background checks all come back okay?
EMT, you said?
EMR at this point.
Like I say, long as this keeps working and you're not digging into the pot, you know, if we're
No.
digging in a pot, we're just not, you have to, like, I still think Great Scott and Kinney's gotta pay a fair share, and I don't think they are. That's why I was
Well, the
talking.
ambulance is self-sustaining, they don't,
They do, and they do help out. I mean, they do,
Well,
it's not,
Mount Iron pays Virginia a certain amount of money per household or whatever, not just, you know, $1,000. Well, $1,000 doesn't even cover the gas.
Doesn't most of the charge for the ambulance come from like, you bill the
Insurance.
customer or the,
Right.
that's how they pay.
Yeah, but we're
wages
talking
and stuff.
servicing our area. Our area goes up to the wind table. I don't know how far south it goes, and it goes up to Mountain Iron, and it goes over towards Chisholm.
But nobody's paying for the service except the people that use it.
The city of Buhl is paying for it.
If
The
they use,
ambulance,
if they use the
the
ambulance.
service,
If they get called out, if they call 911, yes, then they're using it, then they're paying
city,
for it.
city don't put
The
it.
city doesn't put any money
not
towards
to the
it.
Not
ambulance.
an ambulance, the fire department.
Fire department, that's separate, yes.
Okay.
So let me rephrase what I'm asking for, is just looking to move forward with sending Ryan in to get the physical, do the background check, and if he passes that, we'd like to hire him on.
So this is a different guy than the two other guys we approved last meeting or a couple of meetings ago?
So the Samuel hasn't come on. I don't,
Negative. yes,
yeah, I
yes.
think you approved two of them, Samuel and Jules. Jules is on, Samuel hasn't come on, and I'm hearing he's not coming on. He's wanting
Correct. And
until.
if and there's no money out, really at that point, I don't
No,
even know.
he didn't even go for any of
Oh.
the drug screenings or anything.
Okay.
And I believe, I could look back on my text, but I believe that one's on hold right now. But Jules is on and actually covering calls.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion that we move forward with hiring Brian Jager.
Ryan,
Ryan?
Ryan.
I'm sorry.
Ryan,
My hearing's going too.
I'll support that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
thank you for that. The only other thing is that the storm came in out of nowhere. And instead of flushing hydrants, we didn't want to cause skating rinks out there, so we shut it down. So we are probably gonna do one right away at the beginning of spring. Trent, I'll keep you in the loop on that as well.
Yeah,
And-
and basically when we do these numbers, we're doing what you were gonna do anyhow.
Right.
So we have done it in August, September,
I was in August.
yeah.
Okay. And the nice thing is for us too is to exercise them and know when you're coming up to one, if I have to change the marker on it or label it as a stiff hydrant, I can label it on our app.
And then,
So,
just to let you know, the hydrant by Richie Willman's,
okay,
by the trailer park.
yes,
It's got the same pressure as the one,
the one that's back by the storage building?
yeah. I mean, if you have a problem in that area, you can go to that hydrant was, I guess what I'm saying.
Okay.
Instead of going back into Forest Street or,
Yeah, that one's, the one that's back by the storage building between that last trailer and the storage building, that one's usually a pretty good one. The one that's up by the road going down to the pit, down to the burn pile,
yeah.
That one next to that road, that one's a stiff one, that one's a hard one.
Well, I meant as far as
Pressure.
volume.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm actually looking it up right now and seeing what I have for that one, but I think it's pretty good too. I do believe I did have a good reading on that one.
Well, you have, there's a lot more. I mean, I know when we had problems there before, we had to run hoses all the way from 4th Street
Over to that one?
over west, yeah. I'm just saying we can hook up to that hydrant now.
That
Well, they're
one.
replacing that water line, so it should be.
Yeah, it's hooked up. That's what I'm just telling you that.
So that one you're saying is greater than 500 gallons per minute now?
Yeah,
All right, I'll take a look at that one next, in the fall or in the spring.
Yeah.
And I'll update my map.
okay.
And then that way, this is actually very helpful to us when we get out there and we're.
I mean, if you have something in a trailer park or something in that area, you can go to that hydrant and you'll have a lot more volume.
Okay,
Even the trailer park should be much better now.
perfect. Thank you for the info. I'll pass that along to our crews.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Okay. Any other questions for us?
Thank you.
You sticking around?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out for that, agenda item.
Engineering. Perfect timing.
Yeah, just an update, Joel and Sop, finished the pipe work and everything, on the trailer court water line. Kinda did finished really the class 5 restoration actually Monday, so they're basically done for the year. Got the water line in, got everybody reconnected. And finish or do the Grant Street, alley next year. And they didn't get around to doing the curb and, or the driveway on France, but I think, you know, kinda early winter, about last week, October, kinda shut some opportunities down to get some more work done, so.
I drove down the alley yesterday and it's like a highway right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
Well, it's froze now, so.
well, it wasn't froze the day, because they just got done with it, but it's,
We did have one complaint, I don't know if you're aware of that, John.
yeah, we got a couple.
You know, it was wet, it was, you know, late in the season, no drying weather, it was, you know, I got to place, while I was working with Jen through the clerk's office on issues that were coming up, so.
Okay.
And Joey will be back in the spring to put the yards back, to get the grass back,
Yeah.
and
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
I know
we didn't-
people were asking about that.
Yeah, we didn't get any paving done, or none of the bituminous was done. There's some curb and gutter that still needs to be replaced, so. That's all I had.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, John.
Well, plus we found out we don't have to replace all the sewer line in that alley.
Well, actually, there was 3 segments of sewer line, and it appears 2 of them were
Updated.
plastic.
Yeah.
And it was done within the last 30 to 35 years, and nobody really had any city records on it, but there was still that one last
Yeah.
section. But you're right, John, you know, there is some sewer, but not as long as, you know, the entire length of the.
Yeah, and a couple manholes too had it.
Yeah.
We'll have to change that.
Yeah, that's one thing I was gonna say, with, doing these sewers, if we got them televised before we do any work, we'll know what's there, instead of digging them up and, oh, look, it's brand new.
Well, most of them all are televised.
Well, we don't have any records of any information down on, or even, you know, everything really lower, below Pennsylvania. And they might have been televised here and there, but I think doing a televising program before we do any projects like that is important, not only to, you know, confirm the condition of the pipe, but, you know, knowing where all the services are and having, you know, so the city has record for all the work.
Cause they can put that on a DVD and we can pop it in a TV right here and, yeah,
Yeah.
We have them. They're on disc if you want to.
we do.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.
Thank you. attorney. Long-range planning and zoning?
Nothing, a meeting next, Monday.
January is the next meeting, they're quarterly, so
Oh, yeah,
the next
yeah, yeah.
meeting's not till
Oh.
January.
Alright.
We just were having so many because we needed to.
I was thinking.
I'd still like to push one into sometime in December, so we can propose our ordinance updates before the first of the year, and we can get them going.
Okay.
Instead of in January, maybe do it, third week in December or second week in December or something.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Already, recreation board.
That's fine, we'll have a meeting next Monday. We didn't have a meeting last month because of people's work schedules, but we're gonna get one in this month.
Okay, very good. Library board.
I'd like to, I don't know, if anybody here from the library board? There's tons. I was gonna go maybe see Sophia tomorrow and tell her his desks and tables and chairs and up at the school that the library could probably use. Cabinets. I mean, they're nice.
Still in really good shape.
And, yeah, I mean, if I have to, I can take her up there and, if we can propose, mark. Otherwise, they're just sitting up at the school.
Get some use out of them.
Yeah,
Good idea.
so, just say that I'll probably contact her tomorrow.
Very good.
Just throw it at her and see what she says.
Great. Okay, BETA last Wednesday of the month. Utility committee?
Yeah, we haven't met on any,
Sheriffs haven't given me I don't know if they're gonna give me a report or not, if I have to ask for it again, but nothing from them.
Nothing stands out. Okay, and clerk's report.
So we posted for the rink attendance, that closes on the 22nd at 4 PM. We posted for the clerk's position. I can't remember what's the close on that, Diana.
16th? Thursday.
can we run that in the focus too?
We just do it in the official, and then it's gonna be in the Hibbing as well, because we got
In
a
the
deal
Focus,
for it.
Everybody kind of picks that up.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, it's not too expensive. See if Diana, see if we can put that little ad in a Focus.
Okay.
We've had some issues up at the school. We had a feeder line on boiler 1 that went out, and the estimate we got was $2,800. They're gonna go up there with Brian to look at it. Brian wants to just be there. He says he has to be there when they fix it. We also had, Paul and I got a fire call in the middle of the night the other night. The sprinkler system had an issue, and Viking was up here yesterday and had to drain the sprinklers. So we have that expense coming up.
Did they have to drain the attic, in the attic, or?
Yeah,
Oh, they did.
and I don't, John, did you?
I didn't see him drain that, but I turned those fans off, blowing that cold air in there. I don't know, John,
I'm wondering if
When
we
the-
can do that.
when the alarm went off for the fire sprinkler system to go off, these fans kick on to blow outside air into the building. What's the purpose of bringing in?
So what happened is the sprinkler system, the compressor went down, and the sprinkler system filled up and couldn't drain, so the fire alarms went off. So Viking had to come and drain the system because it was so cold in there.
Yeah.
That, they said
So I
that they
just
thought
turned
a
them fans
part might have
off. I mean, they're
froze.
bringing in outside air,
Yeah.
and we're
But-
trying to heat the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that the purpose of those fans on the roof, those whirly-bird things to exchange the air? Cause when that
The
hot air,
building itself, but I don't know what it has to do with the,
I mean, I don't, you know, if you have a fire, why would you bring in outside air?
it's not a fire, it was, the fire code trips. The fire alarm sends off because there's a malfunction in the system.
You had a flow alarm go
I know.
off because what happened is that,
It was a dry sprinkler.
yeah, the air compressor let off, so then there was water flowing up to fill up those pipes. And that kicked off a flow alarm. We have the same system at work where I work. And that kicked it off. But it actually should shut down the air handling system, is what it should
Well,
do.
no, they were on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went and shut them off because we're running the boilers, heating the place up, and then we're pulling all this cold air on the north side of the building. So I shut those off.
Do you know,
But I don't know
Jen,
if those can be shut off, that's a thing. Because I thought the purpose of when the heat is going up to the roof,
No, it doesn't have anything to do with them vents on the roof.
and
It was
remember
that
last year when
air
that,
exchanger.
remember last year when that happened, when one of those got stuck open and that cold came in and then
Yeah.
that sprinkler head broke?
Right?
It
That's why,
froze?
that's why we wanted them off, because it was, I mean, it was blowing a lot of air in that stairway especially, hey, John?
Yeah, I mean, it was,
Well, we'd have
It was
to,
never doing that before.
should contact Viking and see
well,
what they
they're,
say.
yeah, they're here and they were here.
They came yesterday, they were here for quite a while
Yeah.
in the evening. And he called this morning and he said he drained everything and everything's good to go.
Do you know if they checked that compressor, why
He-
that motor kicked out?
He thinks the compressor's bad, is what he told me. He said there's a problem with that compressor.
The motor.
I told Brian that, so.
But that really
I'm
doesn't
still
have
not
anything to do
sure
with
what
Brian, does
compressor
it?
they're
Well,
talking about.
Brian, well, I told him because he knows,
It's the one
he
in the
knows that
attic.
school
Yeah,
front and back. He knows all about those compressors, so
So it's all, everything's fixed then.
it's taken care of for now, yeah. And then the boilers got fired up to high, right, John?
Mhm.
Other than that, I don't think there is a, oh, I know, I didn't get it. Somebody stopped in today and they're asking if they can use the gym at the school. I told them my guess is probably not because of the liability and it's during the evening and nobody's here but I just said that I would mention it to the council.
we don't even have
There's too
running
much.
water
I
and,
mean, I just said there's a lot of stuff in there and I said it was probably doubtful, but I would ask.
No, I mean, down in the gym area, it has to be cleaned up. We had some water issues and it's not ready to go.
If we can go back to the sheriff's thing, I guess, if you guys wanna know, I don't know, I can mention about the invoice, but they, billed us for 88 hours in, October, so if anybody cares or whatever, but that's what, the sheriff's, that's how many hours they're here for October, so.
Okay, 31 days, yeah, okay, very good, thank you, Stuart. Okay,
And our present clerk is leaving us when?
Tonight, this is my last.
Well, that's,
Well.
yeah,
thank you.
it's not a
thank
good
you,
day.
that's right.
I just have to tell people that, you know, you've been here for that long and I've been here for 30 years and when you have issues and it's one of the first times that you have brought up ideas and alternatives. You know, if we did this, we could, you know, this will happen. If we did, this will happen. And we've had a few clerks that didn't do that and I appreciated that.
Thank you, guys. I just want to
Yes.
say thank you. It's hard to go.
Thank you. We'll miss
You will
it.
be missed.
Thank you.
I told you, we can keep you here, but we'll
Yeah.
pay you with monopoly money.
Yeah.
Don't want to see you go, but
You know, you
Gotta
can
do what's
always stop
best
by
for you.
Chisholm and see me.
Okay, council's addition to the agenda, we do have a number of items here. Jennifer, when we do the resolutions, we have a couple here, A and B, but should we just run the next two, or should we wait until we?
Sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that would make sense to just do them in order.
Don't know,
Well, yeah, we get to them, yeah. So,
are they on the agenda?
They're
Well,
ads.
Ads, so.
they're added, but I figured if we have the resolution 1730 and 1731, we
Yeah,
can
they'll
just
be
run
right,
the.
follow those two.
Right, rather than run them at
This is
the very
32
end.
and that's 33. So we'll do this one, then regular business, this one, and then go into
Yeah.
those two.
Sounds very good.
Yep.
Okay, citizens forum, persons wishing to address the council must sign up to be recognized. I think already. Consent agenda A, minutes, a regular city and a special city council meeting.
Stevie, Tim, do you plan on talking? Do you plan on talking at all?
No, not unless asked question.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay,
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes for the regular council meeting, October 17th, and a special meeting of October 30th.
I'll support that.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. B, claims.
I'll make a motion to pay the total AP of $1,023. $123,248.25.
There's that addition.
There's an addition to the claims as well.
Yes, we've received a payment for the IEEE in the amount of $14,891 for the Cornerstone Villa project, and we will need to cut a check to Cornerstone in the same amount.
So
So,
add that to the
14.
total AP.
Very good. Support. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, business. Any? Okay, resolution 1730, resolution authorizing the city to make application and accept funds from the office of the Minnesota Secretary of the State Voter Equipment Grant. Let's see, the required to purchase new voting equipment, estimated cost is roughly $10,000 per precinct, and Buhl is one precinct. Okay. All right.
They give us 5,000. The grant is for 5.
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution 1730.
I'll support that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We get a roll?
Counselor Lehman?
Yes.
Counselor Marcus?
Yes.
Counselor Larson?
Yes.
Counselor Kegley?
Yes.
Mayor Swanson?
Okay, B, resolution 1731, certifying delinquent utility accounts with St. Louis County. Okay, place it on the 270 property tax rolls. Okay. Business as usual.
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution 1731.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay.
Counselor Lehman?
Yes.
Counselor Marcus?
Yes.
Counselor Larson?
Yes.
Counselor Kegley?
Yes.
Mayor Swanson?
Okay. We also have resolution 1732. This is St. Louis County is preparing a consolidated plan to meet application requirements for the Community Development Block Grant Program and other community planning and development programs.
These were basically just to submit our CDBG apps.
Right.
Make the pre-apps final apps.
Make the motion to accept resolution 1732.
I'll support that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Counselor Lehman?
Yes.
Counselor Marcus?
Yes.
Counselor Larson?
Yes.
Counselor Kegley?
Yes.
Mayor Swanson?
Resolution 1733. Okay, yeah, this is in
We had
The
two
other.
pre-apps for CDBG.
two
yeah.
different ones, yes. So
I'll
this
make a motion to adopt 1733.
I'll support that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Counselor Lehman,
Yes.
Counselor Marcus,
Yes.
Counselor Larson.
Yes.
Counselor Keithley.
Yes.
Mayor Swanson.
Okay. Business C.
These basically were our two projects that we talked about.
Very good. Okay, we have a 2017 budget amendment. Our auditor, Bonnie Colden, recommends that the city make budget amendments as necessary when there is a 10% or more difference from the original budgets. Okay, let's see, we have increases and decreases.
I'll make the motion to approve the above 2017 budget amendments.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Business D, we have a fire equipment quote. Fire Chief McDowell received a quote from the Grand Forks Fire Equipment to purchase a coat, pair of pants, 2 helmets, and 2 pair of boots. They total $4,012. He would like approval to purchase these items, and Joy Global will be purchasing the other coat and pair of pants as a donation to the department, a value of $1,860.
I'm assuming made in USA? Okay. If we're paying that much money, it better be good.
Fire gear's gone up in price.
Yeah.
It's, the stuff that they brought in was phenomenal. The reason why we're going with this company instead is because they are up here very frequent. They deal with the smaller departments very well. They're already working with some of our neighboring departments already.
I'll make that motion, we purchase, or allow Josh to purchase the coat, pants, and 2 helmets and 2 pairs of boots for a total of $4,012. Is that right?
And again, I'll support that.
I'm gonna abstain.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Again, like to just make a comment on Joy Global donating half the value of our request.
Say that again?
I'd just like to make a comment of your company making a donation, get it attaboy and.
They're still stuck in legal issues, but I'm being told it should be taken care of in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Very
Thank
good.
Thank you.
Okay, now E, we have cemetery rates. Effective January 1st, 2018, we would like to consider raising the cemetery rates. It's been years since there's been an increase. In comparison to surrounding towns, our rates are quite low, even with an increase. And we are not even charging enough to cover overtime rates for a Saturday burial. That is necessary to raise the rates a touch, I would say.
Well, anytime you go out there, you need 2 pieces of equipment and at least 2 men. And it's usually 4 hours,
Yeah,
because you may dig it, but you still have to
Even,
let them do their thing, and then you gotta come back and finish the job, so it's not,
yeah, I was just gonna say the current rates are pretty cheap and
very inexpensive,
they
yes.
even go with the proposed budget, that's still pretty cheap for,
And you have until
Stop.
January 1st to buy your plot for $100
Cheapest
if you're a
real
Buhl
estate,
resident. Yeah.
Okay, so
One other thing that I want to talk about with this is, we don't have anything in here about burying your own urn. I was a little bit taken back the first time I ever got a call asking me if they could bury somebody themselves. I didn't know that we allow that here. We don't really have a written policy on it. However, I would like to see it written in that you can't bury your own urn here. I just,
Yeah, the quality of the work might not be equal to.
Well, sometime when people bury their own, they don't come up here and tell us they did that.
we
So
always have to
we need at
have,
least the recording fees and the people that come up here, Trent and the boys can go down there and mark it, and if they wanna put so-and-so in there, but they still, the recording fees is still the burial fee amount.
they do call and
So I mean,
they do pay the $50 they're required to pay because we need that, that
Yeah, we just
certificate
need to know
disposition. We have to have that
where
certificate
they
from
put
the
'em.
funeral home. However, I just think other towns don't allow you to do burial yourself. I think that's something that should be up to the city. So I'd like to see it written into our policy that the city has to do the burials. I mean, you would still pay if you want to bury a urn, $150. It's just, I just think that's something people shouldn't be out in the cemetery with shovels on their own.
I agree.
There's certain things you need to, it has to be down so far, and I think it's good that the city's able to regulate that.
So is that something to put in the rules?
I would
or
like
do we
it
have
to be.
change?
I would like it to go into this proposal under the rules saying, I don't know if you say no self burials, no, I don't know how you would word it, but
You'd have to have one of the city guys dig the wall.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are we all good with the prices or?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while.
It's not like they're out of line.
No, it's very, very,
No,
with
they're
the
still
slight
low,
increases.
and they don't start till the first of the
Well,
year.
Chisholm just went about a month ago for cremation burial at $275 or $375? $375? Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, much better.
I'll make a motion that we adopt the new proposed rates for the Lakeview Cemetery with the add-on of the city will do for the urns.
Support.
even when we do that, sometime, well, you know, if they request they want to bury their family, we'll leave a shovel there.
So they can bear.
They can do that part of it, you know.
But our guys still go back.
Yeah, we go
and-
back and check it and, you know, do the sod to make sure it's good to go. But,
So, Councilor Larson, now would be a good time to pass that liquor ordinance before we get to the next agenda item.
Right before we get to the next. In fact, I was gonna add it to the end of it, but we can do it.
I think we couldn't approve that liquor license.
Oh, there we are. Okay, very good. Well, first of all, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Move on to the liquor license renewals. First of all, we'll need a motion needed to approve the shortstop license application to make retail sale of cigarette and other tobacco products for C&B Warehouse. Oh, wait a second, first of all, this ordinance, my mistake. Yeah, no, ordinance 1707, this is an ordinance amending the Buhl Code of Ordinances, Chapter 110, alcoholic beverages, Section 110.05, ineligibility, persons and locations. where it states no license shall be granted to any person made ineligible for a license by state law, no license shall be issued to an individual who is not a resident of the state of Minnesota, it used to state city. So no more than one intoxicating liquor license shall be directly or indirectly used within the city to any one person. And so we'll have to enact this ordinance before we move on.
And this is basically in line with, I know Hibbing for sure, I didn't check into Chisholm.
We didn't, but we're running into an issue where an establishment in town had to, she bought it and they had to put the tax ID number in her name, and she has to apply for a new liquor license. And our ordinance says that unless you're a resident in the city, you can't have a liquor license, and she's not a resident of the city. So if we don't change the ordinance, we can't approve application for her
Yep.
liquor license.
And like I say, we're following suit with other towns.
Correct.
It's state, not city.
I'll make a motion that we adopt ordinance 1707.
I thought we did that. Am I losing my mind?
No.
Okay.
No, we did some resolutions, this is an ordinance.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all the numbers. Okay, we have a motion. Do we
Support.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we'll move on to the liquor license and tobacco. We'll do one of our additions here, the shortstop license application to make retail sale of cigarette and other tobacco products. Done it for C&B Warehouse.
I still move that we renew Shortstop's cigarette license request.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, and then the liquor licenses, we have for the Buhl Curling Club.
Make the motion to renew the,
It's for new application for Billy's and renewal for the curling club,
Yeah,
and we're
renewal
still
for
waiting on the highway.
Yeah, Billy's would be second.
this would be the renewal for the, make the motion for the renewal of the liquor license for the Buhl Curling Club.
And
I'll support that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And then we also have for Billy's Pit Stop and Pub and Grub for their liquor license.
I'll make a motion that we approve the liquor license for Billy's.
I'll support that.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, G, we have the Buhl Curling Club use agreement. Let's see.
so in this is everything that you had from the last meeting.
Okay,
That's what's in here. Just so you don't have to read the whole thing.
right.
I think on section 3, we should probably consider a rent per month. It's gonna follow suit with other properties that we own. I'm suggesting $500 a month for the 4 months.
Well, then we're gonna have to table it. So we get back with the curling club.
Well,
Right.
does council agree with me? That's why I'm bringing it out there because, you know, it's a city building.
Yeah, but that wasn't proposed in the,
Yeah.
what was proposed was the $200 for a event,
Yeah,
not $500
Per
per
event,
month.
per event.
Right.
the two that they
Bond
hold.
bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should bring it back to the curling club.
Yeah.
Before moving
Yeah,
forward.
well, it's fine, but.
Well, they start, they start the
Started.
first week in December,
Or
so
no, we usually take rent and,
Tim will start flooding
November.
like next week, I think, or the 17th, he said he wants to start flooding.
I'm just saying, I know the $2,000 per year is not a hardship for the curling club. Been there, done that.
wow,
It's not like you're gonna go broke.
yes, we will.
No, you don't. Do you guys pay anybody to do work down there?
No, we do it ourselves.
Okay.
But the
What bill-
the old way was when we paid the utilities, the gas, and back
Yeah,
8 years ago, we come in and ask the council to forgive that because other places in town, the city was paying for them, and so the council forgave that for us. In that, there were some things I think we're supposed to like give a donation to the city, which like last year we gave $1,000 back. But we're having trouble getting numbers to people that curl. And we only require $70 for a membership to curl, to get people to come, because we have such low numbers. If,
this $2,000 could easily come just out of the Blarney. I mean, I heard you guys you take in the money and pay everything out. Well, instead of paying $8,000 out, why don't you keep $2,000 and pay $6,000 out?
it's not, I don't think, we don't pay out 8,000, but we have to pay for this, put the event on, and then we give pretty good,
Yeah,
for the winners.
Yeah, I've been there and done that.
And that's what
It attracts quite a
attracts
crowd.
the bond spiel. People don't do 3-day bond spiels anymore because they don't work. But this one works because this is what we do. This is how we run.
Well, that has nothing to do with this. I mean, we did this, we paid all our utilities before, we ran the bond spiel, and we still made thousands of dollars.
John, you have people drinking 3 days in a row. We don't have that big amount anymore like that. Where the curling club used to make $20,000 a year. We don't do that anymore. And if you don't wanna have a curling club.
Oh, I'm
keep
not
it
saying
up.
that. I'm just saying, this is not gonna break you guys.
Okay.
Well, what
If you,
Well,
I'm
they
just
are
saying,
gonna be required to get their own insurance and insure the property in there. That's one of the things Mike Carney suggested.
well, we've gotten insurance for ourselves before.
Yeah, so you'll have to insure the property this year, and I think the only other change was the $200 per event.
And why
And
don't the
half
city
of
keep
the health
insurance on it?
department. Well, the city keeps liability insurance, but Mike Carney is saying you have no insurance if your property that you have inside the building, your equipment, something happens to it. So he said you should go through and do an inventory of everything you keep in there, and you have to get your own property insurance for it.
Well, he had liability too for,
Well, they do have a certificate of liability for, well, they used to do it with the alcohol, but. And our city insurance probably would cover if somebody got hurt there.
And I think I'll have one of the people from the curling club in and show you what we've made, what we pay out every year to keep that plant running. Because we have Rodrigo come over every other week to add oil to the plant. It's a huge bill by the end of the year.
But the plant is only, that's
I
only
don't
used for the
understand
curling
that.
part of it,
Right,
correct?
but it's still, we add oil to the compressor. And we have usually.
you did it all last year?
Yeah, we've been doing it for years. Because the plant is old, wore out and ready to,
Yeah,
and the seals are old and it uses oil. So,
Well, I remember when Lowe's fixed our own seals. We tore the whole thing apart and replaced the seals and put it back together.
you can't find seals and we did have them do that, but the compressor itself is wore out, leaking oil.
It's fairly old, hard to
So-
find parts for now, I suppose.
I'm just saying that,
Well, yeah, let's get together. I'd like to see all that stuff. I mean, I don't curl.
I'm gonna make a motion to table this till next meeting.
Fine.
Support.
I mean, you know, pretty much you're asking the people in town to subsidize curling and, you know, you got 40 people down there and you got 960 people in town.
Well, is it really any different than the senior center?
Yeah, it is, because the senior center is open to you if you wanted to rent it any time of the day. The curling club's not.
You could rent the senior center any time of day and no one would have a problem with it.
And how much would you pay for it?
Well, that's one of
I don't
the
know what-
issues that
Yeah, that's what
I intended to meet with the senior center about, because we don't know how much they're charging people. They're charging people, we don't know how much it is,
And
so,
that's one of the reasons why six,
but
8
they
years
do
ago,
do their own
we
fundraising.
come in and asked for the city to forgive the utilities because of the other places in town.
Well, you can't compare the curling club with the senior center.
How I can't?
Because the senior center is available to John, it's available to Ted, it's available to me. Is a curling club in December, January, February, March available to anybody?
Anybody that wants to come and rent it? Not
Well,
the-
for what?
For a curling event, or if you wanna rent the upstairs, I'm sure you could. We had,
We're talking funerals, wedding receptions, meetings, bingo. That building is built for the city and it should be sponsored by the city. And we have people that are up there maintaining it and they're not coming here and asking us for any money.
when have we asked for money?
Well, you just told me you came here to forgive your utilities.
Yeah, because the senior center wasn't paying utilities. So why should we when they don't?
It's not even on the same line.
Okay.
Okay, it's been tabled, we had motion, we had support, any further discussion? I believe we've had. Sorry, just the way it is. So, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Okay, H, the disc golf course, we have the invoices attached here. Everything for a total of $2,402.45. We have each receipt. Everything seems to be in order.
I make a motion that we pay the bills for the disc golf.
Where's the money coming for this, for the labor? They only have about $700 left in their pot. And this amount of money here for labor is more than $700.
Well, that was for a skid steer operation, an excavator.
Well, the grant isn't paying for it, is it?
Grants paying for the labor going forward. The sponsorships are paying for labor already done in the past.
Okay, so this is not costing us any money.
No.
Okay, that's, okay.
Not a cent. Yeah. Support? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And we have the Martin Hughes High School. Any,
There isn't, the mayor just said she wants it on every agenda.
everyone, but I was just,
So I
if there's anything.
didn't hear from
Okay,
her,
very
so.
good.
We did that in your first report. so.
Yeah, and then we have just one follow-up on the agenda from the city
I
attorney.
just, no, it's from me, but I
Well-
just want the council to be aware of this, because I think
yeah.
it should be addressed. And
Correct.
I think next year there should be a written contract with whoever becomes, or whoever is going to be the city attorney.
Okay, very good. Thank you for the heads up on that.
Hey, Counselor, can we back up?
Oh,
just
certainly.
one? Did you approve the invoices and the quotes, the quote for further work? that was with you?
Now, we see the,
What was on here?
It's the pink page.
Is that a dish? Is that a dish?
It's like in parentheses on the
The
memo.
invoices for past work and then the quote for future work.
One.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure.
everything.
All right, yep.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, sir. Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
we're gonna bring up about helping us out, Diana, out a little bit, or you don't think you're gonna have time?
No, I definitely think I can help. I just had heard that there was opposition from someone on the council, so I just didn't even bring it up.
Oh.
Didn't even bring it up, so.
Well, she offered for like $20 an hour, up to $100
You told
a
me to
week.
submit something.
Huh?
You told me to submit something. You said make a proposal up for the city, but, yeah, I mean, I definitely would come if Diana needs the help.
Well, we just have a few irons in a fire, and if Diana thinks she needs a little help, and
What are we, that's another thing. Spots on the agenda.
need a lot of help. Anyhow, Jennifer was willing to help out if needed on some of the issues, including the school. We're looking at a national grant for doing our water and sewer lines. We're kind of into some of the paperwork for that with John. And I don't know, there's about 4 or 5 issues, or ordinances, trying to get those in line to update them.
Yeah, but she's not gonna be here, so. And if we have a problem, I guess we can call her and ask her. But
Would
There's
you be
nothing-
interested, like, 2 weeks from now if we needed
Probably not.
something? No?
But I just want to go back to this other memo that I wrote. This needs to be addressed, whether this is okay if people are calling Mike.
Oh, yeah.
well, if residents are calling, that should be their time, not city time.
Yeah, it sounds like you should go through Sherry if we're gonna contact the attorney. You guys contact the
You guys
attorney and
can't
they
be
send
calling
us.
Mike Carney directly. We're incurring legal fees because of this.
Us.
You told me on 2 different occasions, you were telling,
I called him, he didn't call me back. And then I
that's
went
not
through
what
the
happened.
mayor and these guys. I
Okay.
haven't talked to him since the council meeting. I don't think I got something with you guys.
Well, I was just saying.
that's not what he told me, but.
I even mentioned.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, come through here if we need some answers,
Oh, yeah.
because, yeah, Mike will send us a bill.
He won't answer the phone. I will call him anyway, he won't answer the phone.
Okay.
Very good.
Well, we've incurred just under $500 in legal fees from correspondence from the Disc Golf Association.
I think that was probably having, going to talk to IRR, because he sure hasn't talked to me.
Okay. Okay, we had a motion to adjourn, we had support, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Well, you said, Jen, good luck to your new endeavor.
Yes, very much so.
You think we're nutbags over here, so good luck.
Who made the motion to adjourn?
No, I know, Stuart made the motion to adjourn, you supported, or was it? Yeah,
Stuart
made it.
supported.
Okay, very good. This meeting is adjourned.